Welcome to the channel. On this channel, we'll be covering lots of things. Reviews, movies, videos, everything you can think of. I hope you enjoy. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, turn on all post notifications so you'll get more and more videos just like this one. So today we're going to be talking about Amazon's new series, Swarm. Ooh, child. Let me tell you something. This series is episode 1, and this series is about a young lady by the name of Dre, whom is played by the actress Dominique Fisher. Dominique has a friend whose name is Marissa, and Marissa and her, it starts out with them being like, the best of friends. Marissa sort of looks after Dominique. And when I tell you that this thing about Swarm, Dre is obsessed, honey. Then I tell you, she is obsessed with her favorite pop star, singer, songwriter. And that songwriter's name happens to be Niger. Niger is a songwriter who she's very obsessed with. And Niger plays these songs. Some of them are kind of sad. Some of them are not so sad. But to make a long story short, Dominique Fisher, who is Dre in this story, is very obsessed with Niger. She lives and breathes everything that Niger does. If you say something bad about Niger, she's just not having it. She seems to be a very more timid character in the part. And she's like sad and shy. But as you can tell during the first episode, Marissa sort of looks after her and they live together. They're living together in this apartment when it starts off. And Marissa has her own life going on. She's got a boyfriend whom Dre's not really down with. And Marissa and Dre, they seem to be very close and like best of friends. Not only are they friends, they seem to be more of like sisters. So they call themselves sisters. So during this episode, Dre seems like she says everything is special, and she just seems like, she's got this problem. Nobody really can tell what it is. So as the series goes on, this little episode goes on, they talk about things that girls would normally do. And Marissa's dreaming to be an artist. She wants to be a makeup artist. And Dre seems to cling on to every word that Marissa says and listens to her very well. She seems to be staring at her sometimes when she's with a boyfriend, and when they doing whatever they doing, she's standing there right there watching like she a part of it too. So you wonder during this episode, what's really going on with this girl named Dre, and why is she doing all of this? Well, make a long story short, Marissa does have a job, and she works at the mall, and I guess she actually gets Dre a job over there at the mall too. But Dre seems to not be all there for some strange reason. She seems to be a little bit timid, like she's got some like issues. I don't know what kind of issues, but she's got some kind of issues going on with her, and she needs the guidance of Marissa as she's doing whatever she does. Marissa seems to be the breadwinner of the group of the two girls, and Marissa seems to hold everything down, and Dre seems to go along with whatever Marissa says, but she's very obsessed with her phone. Dre can't do anything without her phone. She follows everything on social media that Niger does. It's like she's in this group called, I guess she calls herself Swarm. That's her handle on Twitter, so to say. And they follow a group, and she watches what everybody says. And if they say something wrong about Niger, Dre just ain't having it, honey. Dre is like all into this. So Marissa goes on to explain to Dre, like during this series, during this episode, that that it's fictional and those people really are fake. They're not really, all there real, and that they live in the real life, and they really got to get some money so they can continue to live in their apartment. Neither here nor to say that Dre really don't understand. She just going along with the flow. So they get to this scene where Marissa and Dre go to work, and Dre, decides, she needs somebody. She's got to go cover this person so that she can become this aspiring makeup artist. And, this is her dream. So she's like going after it. So during this part, she kind of like asked Dre would she cover for her at work so that she could actually, get her stuff together, and so she can go in and do this person's makeup and like make some connections. So as she does that, Dre decides that she's folding the shirts and doing what she does. So it's like a little shirt shop that she works at. But you could tell that Marissa had some friends on the job, and they really didn't care for Dre because they thought Dre was strange and weird and kind of timid and slow. Not really slow, but I guess I would say kind of timid. So as it goes along, Marissa's boyfriend approaches Dre at the mall, and Dre definitely is not like with it. She's like, oh, okay. But she talks to him because she's excited because she had told him previously that she bought some tickets to go see Nyjah and that Marissa really would like it and not to tell her. But come to find out, he was like all trying to get up on Dre. So Dre called him a cheater. She thought he was a cheater. And she didn't like that because, that's her girl, Marissa. That's her sister. She called her sister, and that was her sister. So she was all for Marissa. So come to find out, they walking around, and he's trying to pick out stuff for Marissa, and they're talking. But he's really trying to hit on Dre, and Dre just wasn't having it. Long story short, when they go back and they arrive back, somebody has come into the mall and kind of like vandalized their little area where they were, that little shop with a little t-shirt shop. And of course, Marissa left Dre in charge because she thought Dre would be like more responsible and be able to handle it. But Dre ended up leaving, so she left it unattended. And she ended up saying, well, okay, whatever. And then as you could tell, at that point, the girl who was like over it, I guess she was her manager or whatever, she like ended up throwing Dre out, and Dre was sitting on the side, right? So Dre was waiting for Marissa, and Marissa came to pick Dre up in the car, and Marissa was real angry and upset because Marissa didn't like the idea that Dre had messed up the job and the opportunity. And she was like, well, we got to live off of something. We got to be able to take care of ourselves, X, Y, and Z. But Dre decided that, okay, I'm sorry. She kept saying, I'm sorry, because she didn't mean no harm. But she said, but your boyfriend is a cheater. And Marissa was like, oh, no, he loves me, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to stay with him. I'm packing up my stuff. It's time that I do these things for me. Because you got to understand that Marissa, she really wanted to be a makeup artist. So that was her dream. And she thought that liking Nyjah by this point was like, it was all made up and they had grown up and they had responsibilities. So Marissa got mad and Dre was crying and Marissa left and drove off and left Dre there standing, left her there crying. So Dre decided that, okay, well, Dre seems still timid, but Dre, after they had done, whatever, got into this argument, Dre decided, well, I'm just gonna, she didn't say nothing, but she decided that she was gonna go and go out and she was gonna listen to some Nyjah because she had them tickets, and Nyjah didn't want to go to see Marissa didn't want to go see Nyjah, but Dre did, and so Dre ended up going out, getting dressed up. Child looked fancy. She looked real good too, and she met this gentleman, this guy in the club, and I think she went to the club, and it just seemed like the club. It wasn't a concert, and she ended up being with this guy, and she was woke up the next morning at his apartment. Ooh, child. And when she woke up the next day in his apartment, she was trying to figure out what she had done. The man was cooking her breakfast and dinner and stuff. And she was like, well, breakfast? And she like, what? So she really didn't remember much of the night, whatever. And then she ended up looking for her phone. And so she took her phone in the bathroom with her and charged it up because the phone had died. Come to find out, Marissa had been calling her all night long, and Marissa was just calling her, telling her, yeah, the boyfriend was a cheater, and that she was very sorry, but she needed her right now. Well, Dre missed that call, so Dre ended up leaving the boy's house and going on to see if Marissa was there. But when she got there, honey, Marissa was already gone. And when I say she was gone, she wasn't gone. Marissa was with us no more, honey. She had decided that she didn't want to be there no more, and she had gone. And you really couldn't tell during the plot, whatever. But you could tell that she wasn't there. She was sick. Dre ended up being at the hospital with her, and then the doctors came and told her that Marissa was gone, and she was not there anymore. She was gone. We can't say them words on YouTube, but she was gone. But long story short, after all of that happened, Dre got dressed and Dre got ready to go to the funeral services, and the family told Dre that she couldn't be there. So Dre ended up leaving the services and not being there no more. Then she decided, oh, okay, whatever. Dre she was just lost. It was just so sad. She was just lost. So Dre remembered that during this time that the boyfriend said he didn't like Naja. That's why he didn't tell a girlfriend about Naja. So remember that Naja is the pop star, the artist, and he didn't like Naja. He didn't care about Naja. He said some bad things about Naja. So Dre went and found the boyfriend. And when she found the boyfriend, honey, ooh, child. So Dre found Khalid. His name was Khalid. And after she found Mr. Boyfriend, she went in there and she talked to him, and he was upset. He was upset because Marissa had passed away, and he was like, he was so sad, and he didn't see her at the funeral. And so she said, well, she just looked at him. She just staring at him. So then he proceeded to say, he was sad because Marissa and him had an argument, and that he didn't expect anything like that to happen. So Dre just kept staring at the boy. But Dre, in the back of Dre's mind, Dre was like remembering that, Khalid had said he didn't like Naja. Remember, Naja is the pop star. And so Khalid got up. He asked her, did she want some tea? And Khalid, he went up and he fixed her some tea. And he got ready to fix the tea because he said that was his mother's favorite, and it kept down his stress and stuff. So maybe she would like to have a cup of tea. But Dre still ain't say nothing. The next thing you know, honey, and Dre got that lamp post, and Dre hit Khalid in the back of the head, and then she just kept hitting Khalid, kept hitting him. Honey, it was too unexpected, because that was one thing you just didn't expect in a series like that. Because, the whole series, the whole little episode started out kind of, you don't really know the people, and it's kind of dry, and next thing you know, she just go to hitting the man in the back of the head. So all I can say is, oh child, all I know is that she took Mr. Khalid out. Mr. Khalid is no more. And she just ended him right now. So that was the end of episode 1. We're going to get back with episode 2. But, episode 1 was different. We do know that Naja is a pop star, and Dre is obsessed with Naja, and she is not trying to hear it at all. And Dre is an African-American female who, this is a black family who is going around, and Dre is just chilling. But honey, Dre got some things going on. So I hope y'all enjoyed this here episode 1 of Swarm, and the information I gave you. If you can get a chance to go ahead and check it out on Amazon. I tried not to say too much of it, but I did want to go through it because I'm really enjoying this here series here. Well, I hope you enjoyed the series, and I'll get back to y'all on the next video for episode 2. See you then.